Easy, mate.
Mark Stefanac, Stefo,
G'day,
thanks
mate.
for joining us.
No problem.
1982, you made your way down to Hatfield.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about that time.
Oh, look, I was pretty raw back then. I was sort of come from migrant parents, so, I wasn't really allowed to play footy for footy clubs. And then my mate's dad got me down to Glenroy for a year, and then after that, decided to come to Hatfield. I played cricket the previous season. I had more friends here, and just went to Hatfield High School for year 7, and came to Hatfield, and pretty much started from there.
And I looked through your history, a few junior premierships, under 14s, under 16s a couple of times. You played under George Brownie, Jeff Riley and Kevin Carton, which are some big names around Hatfield, and all those premierships were in A grade. You must have had a decent side back then.
Yeah, no, we were pretty lucky. I think it probably stemmed from being a young area and a lot of good young talent. And we were blessed. I think we went those 3 years, probably lost about 2 games, so it was pretty fortunate time for us. So yeah.
And that transferred into you guys coming through the club, and then eventually finding your way into the under 18s and then the seniors. And I know your 1989 premiership coach Peter Whittle told a story about you a few weeks ago that even as a junior, higher up in the grades as an under 18, you went to him and said you wanted to play senior football. You must have had a real drive back then.
Yeah, no, definitely. We were lucky because we were such successful kids. There was probably 5 or 6 of us who got invited down to Carlton to do pre-seasons and the like. And you'd come back from a VFL club at the time, and you're sort of just striving and sort of looking at the bigger picture, wanted to play seniors, and so just wanted to push to play the best I could.
We talk about seniors. 1988, you were runner-up as a 17, 18-year-old in a final side. It must have been a great thrill then as a young player to get so close, but so far in the end in 1988, a few things didn't go our way.
Yeah, no, we were a little bit unlucky. I had a few people unavailable on the day, and so it was a tough game. Look, but it was a good learning curve for us. We were a young side at the time, and it was just a good preparation for the following season.
We talk about the following season. It's one of the more famous premierships in our history, and you, as an 18-year-old, playing senior football. What are your memories of that season before we sort of get on the grand final day itself?
Oh, well, all I remember is playing with a good bunch of blokes, all on the same page in regards to playing good hard footy, led by Peter Whittle. We had good leadership for the team, and it was a lot of depth at the club at that time, so we were not only strong in seniors, we were strong in reserves as well. So push for selection was always there, and I think accountability was always with us, and so that's what I remember during the course of that year. And you just wanted to make sure you got a game in the team first, and then take it from there.
Going into the grand final, were you confident?
Yeah, no. Look, I suppose people that know me, I'm always sort of reasonably confident, but. I had strong belief in the side, and I knew we had the players and the team to do it. It was just a matter of really getting it done on the day, and I felt like we achieved that.
And on the day, you're an 18-year-old and you kick 5 goals in a senior premiership. It must be very special and something you look back upon real fondly.
Well, it's probably close to one of the biggest highlights in my life in regards to football. So yeah, definitely it's something I look back on and really proud of, and it's always good to be reminded over the years, as you get older, you play 10 times better than you did on the actual day, but it's all good fun.
And you got the nickname as the Stallion.
Yeah.
I can imagine that there might have been some good celebrations after that night.
Oh look, mate, we played footy hard, but we partied hard as well. We were a good club on and off the ground, and we had the Hattie Drome down at Reddish at the start before we come over here, and there were some big days there, and we knew how to celebrate, and we were dragging opposition teams to our after parties, mate. I can remember that, mate.
From 1989, we then went up to A grade, and you announced yourself as a star in A grade. What was the sort of footy like back then?
Well, it was really strong, it was, at the time, how can I say, A grade's always been really sort of strong along the lines. There was not many real weak teams that were playing at the time, but for me, I just remember, it was pretty brutal back in the day. But again, we were playing, footy back then was a little bit more tougher than what it was these days. We were getting, pushed around, you know. And we were a young side in the competition, but we were quite good. I remember, I think it was the first season. I think we won about 5 or 6 of the first few games. We're up nearly on top of the ladder, and then we just sort of suffered a few injuries, and we sort of tapered off. But we were good on the side, I can tell you that much.
And you know, we had some success during the 90s. We've spoken to a few people. I know Craig Burrows in the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
Just around that 96, 97 era. Obviously, it's an era we look back on. We had so many good players, but we probably underperformed a little bit in the end. We didn't get there.
Yeah, no, I mean, the year I think it was under Bearsy, you know, we played against Glenroy, and you know, I would have felt like we were going in favourites for that grand final. And I was a little bit stiff myself. I was done my knee. It's probably about 5 or 6 games before the end of the season, you know, and I was probably having a strong year that year myself. And I think we had a couple other little injuries and nigglies, and you know, Glenroy, you know, to their credit, they came to play on the day, and unfortunately we didn't come away with the biscuits. But definitely a talented squad of players for a number of years there, and we probably should have, you know, probably got away with another flag with the group of players that we had at that time.
And you continued playing well into your 30s, and then from there you took on a pretty significant role off the field. And if we look sort of later 2000s, you served 6 years as president of the club up until a couple of years ago. And I think you know, if you didn't have a lot of respect and admiration for your 5 goals in a premiership as an 18-year-old, you definitely got a whole lot more during that period. In what was a tough period for the club?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, look, before I became president, I was sort of helping Robbie as senior coach, as his one of his assistants, and you know, we were sort of going through there, but we were developing young men at the time. You know, we still had a good junior program at the footy club, and then we're bringing them through the seniors, and I'd like to believe, and you know, a lot of them are now playing in A-grade football clubs, and so we sort of nurtured that sort of talent. But you know, the club at the time, you know, we weren't financially strong enough to keep these players, you know, and deservedly so. They went to play in bigger and stronger competitions, and then we got relegated one year. It was a close fight for relegation, and then we had unfortunate bout of injuries, and then we went down for 1 year, and then I think the second year as president, we sort of loaded up with a few players and got started.
2015, of course. We won the premiership.
We won the premiership that year, and that was a great year for the club. And then we sort of just built the club to where it is today. To be honest, I mean, and that's been a lot of hard work, not just through myself, it's through the committee and the junior committee with a lot of people that you know, we wouldn't be here without them. And you know, Yvonne Dodoricos and Chris Dodoricos and everyone else along the way, Curry.
Yeah, 100%. Well, no, you mentioned 2015, obviously to play a part in a premiership as a player 26 years earlier, and then to be president of a premiership team, that's also something pretty significant.
Definitely something that I hold special in my heart. And you know, I mean, Hadfield's been a large part of my life, to be quite honest. So you know, any success you get out of it, you know, there are going to be fond memories that come with that. And you know, I don't regret any minute that I put in at this joint. And you know, that is in the blood.
Well, it's 50 years. I'm sure, as you said, it's quite special to you. I'm sure you've got a message for anyone thinking about coming back for the 50-year ball on July 10.
Oh, definitely. I mean, 50 years. You know, that's an achievement in itself. You know, I mean, there's a lot of clubs out there that probably don't even get to get 50 years. So for us, you know, to achieve that and we be where we are and how we're sort of situated at the moment, you know, it's really encouraging. And I'd like to, not only just for the 50-year reunion, but people to come back to the club and support going forward, because you know, there's been a lot of great people that come through this football club, you know, and I'd love to see every one of them on the night. You know, I think the target is around 300 people. You know, if we can smash 300 people, we'd be wrapped. You know, and it'll put another, you know, backbone to the club going forward. And you know, I'd love to see all the older new faces come along and, you know, have the biggest night as we can. I suppose what you don't want to do is be the person that didn't go, you know, I wasn't there. You know, you'd say, I think for everybody that's, you know, been a part of the club, let's make sure we get to the function and show our support and you know, moving forwed.
No doubt. Stefo, you're a legend at Hadfield.